Less than an hour from the port city of Marseille is one of the most stunning national parks I had never heard of. The Calanques are a series of staggering white cliffs that thrust into the deep blue Mediterranean Sea. A casual hike along the cliff's edge offers stunning views of rocky islands, but also transports you to some magical fishing villages, with little sailboats bobbing in the natural harbors. It's one of the best day trips from Marseille, and here's how it went.
Good morning, guys, and welcome back to Marseille, France. This morning I've just taken a bus about an hour to the southeast of Marseille, and I've come to the national parks of Calanques, and this is this beautiful region along the southern coast of France here, right along the Mediterranean, and there's all of these jagged white rocky cliffs, and there's going to be a few little fishing villages along the way, and I'm very excited to explore this landscape just outside of Marseille. So we're really not that far from the city at all, and you have a couple of these islands just off the coast here, and I have come all the way to Les Goudes, which is kind of to the western part of the Calanques National Park, and I'm hoping to kind of just work my way along the coast of the Calanques here. I think there's some hiking trails that'll take us right along the coast, and the Calanques will go about 10 miles all the way to Cassis from here, and I don't think I'll have enough time today to go all the way to Cassis, but there's a university right in the middle called Lumini, so my plan today is to kind of work my way along the coast here for about 4 or 5 of those miles to that university and just take in some of the views and some of the beautiful hikes along the national park along the south of France here. So yeah, again, I'm starting in this little fishing village of Les Goudes, and this is my first view of the Calanques here, and it's just absolutely stunning. And so I think I'm just gonna start by working my way, walking through the little village of Les Goudes, and I think I can go out to the point just behind the village here and check out some of those islands. So yeah, let's start the day by just walking along the coast here of the Calanques. I've just walked down into the little town of Les Goudes, and it's a sleepy little town here during the winter, but you just have this incredible harbor with these beautifully colored boats, and you have these pastel colored homes and little shops through the main street that goes through Les Goudes, and then you just have these incredible views of the Calanques and some of these jagged peaks off in the distance. But to start, before we head along the coast here, we're going to go behind Les Goudes, and I flew up the drone and saw that there's this little fishing port at this peninsula, Les Croissoits, right behind Les Goudes. So let's walk around the back of the town and check out that little peninsula behind here. I've just hiked less than half a mile behind the little fishing village of Les Goudes, and it was this epic hike, and as you were hiking up and over this little peninsula, you had this amazing view of the jagged rocks of this island just off the coast of the village here. And then as we hit the end of the peninsula, we've hit the little port of Croissoits, which is just this picture perfect little fishing village here. There's a little sandy cove and a little natural harbor here amongst the rocks, and it just was such a beautiful hike. And this is my first little excursion in the Calanques, and I'm already in love with this place. This is just so cute. So Anyways, gonna take a couple photos and videos of this little fishing port here, and then I'm gonna work my way back behind Les Goudes and then start our hike along the coast of the Calanques here, checking out some of the other epic landscapes of this national park in the south of France.
We stretch time, we stretch life, we stretch time, we stretch life.
I've just hiked about half a mile past Les Goudes, and I've made it to the last little fishing village here, Callelongue, and this is about where the road ends, and from here we're going to start hiking along some of the rocks and cliffs here, I think going over this and along the edge of the coast here. And it's a tiny little sleepy village. There's a small little fishing port here with some boats, and it looks like there's a few restaurants and cafes if you want to get some food and some snacks before continuing your hike. So yeah, I think I might stop in this village a little bit, maybe get a coffee, and then again we're going to be starting our hike along the cliffs here.
We stretch life.
I just grabbed a coffee in that cute little village there. There's a nice little cafe, and now I've started the hike to Luminy, and it looks like there's going to be this nice trail that just goes right along the coast of the Calanques, and the trail is nicely marked with these red and white trail markings, and I'm really looking forward to just what we see along the way and some of the views as we go along the coast here. And just even as we're starting, we just have this epic view looking back on the road and the islands off the coast there. So yeah, let's just enjoy some hiking along the Calanques.
We stretch life.
Have just hiked about 45 minutes from that last little village, and we've gone through this one little cove and then around another part of the coast here, and we've made it to this little fishing port village. And again, there are no roads here, so the only way to access this place is by the water or by hiking, but there are like a couple houses that look semi-abandoned here. Maybe they're used more during the summer, but then you have all of these boats lined up along the coast here, and as we were coming in you could just see rows and rows of these cliffs along the coast of the Calanques here, and it's just really cute. And it looks like there might be like a little cafe that could be here during the summer, but just a very idyllic beach, and then we're surrounded by all of these whitewashed cliffs, beautiful blue water, and it is just a stunning hike so far. So I'm gonna enjoy this little beach for a little bit, but then let's keep hiking along the coast and see what else we find. a little fork in the trail here, but the red and white path looks like it's going to go up into the mountains a little bit. We're going to get some elevation, maybe some nicer views from up there. So I think I'm going to stay on the red and white path because I know it's nicely marked. The views are just so epic from up here on this higher trail looking down on all these cliffs. It's amazing. We have just spent the last hour or so hiking up and over this mountain pass, and we have come onto the other side of the hills from the coast, and finally the wind has calmed down a little bit. You can see the city of Marseille way off in the distance there, and we're going to descend about a quarter mile here until we hit another road, and then we'll make a decision which way we want to go from there. But that was just a stunning hike, not too terribly steep, but you just had amazing views looking down on the cliffs below. We have just hiked down the mountain pass there, and we've made it to this little road that would take you back to the city of Marseille, or we can go about a mile down the road here back to the coast, and it looks like there's another little village at the end of this road here. I have just hiked all the way down that road. Again, it was about a mile. The road kind of squiggled down, and I've made it to the little village of Sormiou, and it's just a sleepy little town here. There's a couple houses up on the cliffs here. It just is so idyllic, and then you're just surrounded by these cliffs on this cove here. You have this bright blue water, the waves crashing against the sandy beach here, and just such a picture-perfect, picturesque little small village here on the south of France. We're gonna eventually hike out of the village, and I think we have to hike up and over this cliff here, and then down on the other side there's one of the last villages, Morgiou, that I want to check out this afternoon. So as I was flying the drone from that little beach over there, I realized that the village goes a little bit further, and there's this little boat harbor sheltered by the waves, but then there's a little bit more of the village. And now we're gonna go through that village, and then we're gonna go up and over these cliffs and continue our hike. Working my way up and over this mountain pass, and it's pretty steep right up, but we're getting one last view on that village, the Sormiou village that we were just exploring, and it's just beautiful seeing the orange roofs and the bright blue water and the cliffs that go out to the Mediterranean. So yeah, last view of this village, and then we're up and over the pass on our way to the next village. have ascended right up to the mountain pass, and we're kind of skirting the edge here. And at the pass here, we just have this incredible view looking back at all of the ridges of the Calanques here, and some of the islands off in the distance is just stunning. So yeah, I think we're gonna continue our way around the edge of this and down into that other village. Hopefully it'll just be about a mile and a half or so, because it started to rain a little bit, but hopefully we won't get drenched. I've been coming along this little ridge line, and I've been following these blue trailblazers, and we're just up on this ridge and we're looking out at these incredible cliffs that just keep going all the way along the Calanques, and we're starting to get our first little view of the last village below. We can see the little harbor, the blue water, some boats, some houses down there. So I think eventually we're going to descend down this ridge, and yeah, eventually we'll hit that last village. But this has just been insane views out here. Like, look at this. This is beautiful. I have finally made it down the ridge to the little town of Morgiou, and that was honestly very strenuous hiking. Like, you're just coming down this scree, and then there were a lot of rocks, and because of the rain it was slippery. So I would recommend maybe taking the red trail, even though it won't take you to the top of the ridge, but the red trail would probably be a little bit safer getting down to this village. But it feels so good to be on solid ground again, and this village is our last stop of the day, and it is just so beautiful, so quaint. These colorful little houses, all of these little boats in this little bright blue harbor, and it is just absolutely cute. So this is my first view. I'm entering from the harbor here, from the cove area, but we're just in this little narrow rocky cove. And yeah, so I'm gonna walk around this village. It'll be our last stop of the day because it's already getting pretty late. Now I gotta figure out how to get back to Marseille. But yeah, I'm gonna throw up the drone, walk around the village, and then I'll see you guys in a little bit. I have just flown my drone, gotten some beautiful aerials of this harbor, and again, from the sky you can just appreciate how blue this water is, and you can see the cove that we're in. We're in this deep cove, and you have all of these boats here, and then you have this little bit of a village here, some of these pastel colored houses that tower into the cliffs a little bit, and then you're surrounded by all of these cliffs, and all of these little towns I've been going to have just been these insanely beautiful, just picture perfect, idyllic little French towns along the Mediterranean here. It's just been such a fun journey. So yeah, there's not really much going on here. I'm sure during the summer, like a couple of these bars would be open. Maybe there's some like little hotels and stuff that you can stay in here. And I'm sure there would be a lot more activity with fishermen coming in and out. Looks like there's kayaks here, so you could be out kayaking in some of the coves here, swimming in some of the coves. But yeah, for me it was just so beautiful just hiking from village to village. It really reminded me of the Cinque Terre in Italy, where you just hike to the 5 little fishing villages and these colorful little landscapes right along the Mediterranean, and it reminded me a lot of that. And again, I'm kind of off season here, but I felt like it was a lot less touristy. I barely saw any other hikers the whole time. I had most of the trails completely to myself, and then even just the hikes in between the villages were just stunning, going up and over these little mountain passes and just seeing all of the layers of the cliffs that just line the Mediterranean here has just been stunning. Absolutely beautiful little hike here, and this is just an hour from Marseille, and I'd barely heard of the Calanques before I'd gotten to Marseille, so it was really a surprise and a delight for me to just do this hike along the coast of the Mediterranean here. Just beautiful views, and super glad I had the drone getting some of those aerials of the villages and some of the landscapes here. So yeah, very beautiful. But it's about 5, the sun's gonna set in about half an hour, and I gotta figure out my way back to Marseille because this is a tiny little town, so I'm gonna have to walk back to the town that way or try to get to the university, but I'm gonna try to figure that out before it gets too dark here. But yeah, hopefully you guys get the opportunity to do the Calanques if you're in Marseille. If you are looking to come to Marseille, I highly recommend this. This was just one of the highlights of my trip here, really. So yeah, anyways, thanks for watching. Next time I am going to be going across the Mediterranean to Algeria in 2 days, and so I'm really looking forward to showing you guys some of the northern Africa as well. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.